Hello there everybody, my name is Sharky, and as I'm sure you saw in the title, today is my quick guide to making Revenant the best PvE hunter subclass currently available. As you'll see via the clips currently playing, we have a pretty high uptime, meaning our abilities are up pretty frequently, thank you to Demolitionist and some of the things we'll be having on. You'll see in a few that I currently don't have a lot of strength, and my discipline is pretty high, yet my melee still seems to be available as frequently, if not more frequently than my grenade ability. Demolitionist plays a big part in that, although it's not necessary as far as the build goes. It just kind of helps in keeping that uptime as high as possible. Now let's take a look at my subclass's build and some of the mods in my armor that will be assisting us in keeping our ability uptime as high as possible while on Revenant. When looking at my abilities, you will see that I have Gambler's Dodge, which is pretty relevant, as you'll see. Triple Jump, obviously, and our trusty Duskfield. And when we look at our aspects, I have Grim Harvest and a touch of Winter. I'll hover the fragments for you, but know that the aspects are quite important, and all of these will be in the description to make this easier for you. Now, when going through my armor, what you will see is pretty self-explanatory as far as the elemental well mods have going for us. And I'll say now that Well of Potency, which you'll see on my cloak, isn't required, as well as Well of Might has a similar effect. Again, I will hover over them for you so you can read what they do, but I will be putting those in the description below as well. Now, for the remainder of the video, I will be narrating some gameplay I have going on. Kind of go over the synergy between each of these mods and their perks, and explain why I do the things that I do. And while, trust me, it's pretty easy to get down, as you'll see throughout the gameplay. Now, going through, you will see, I'll go over the more important bits here, but something to note is that, like I said prior, Demolitionist isn't necessary for this build, excuse me. But it does help with keeping that uptime as high as possible. You'll be seeing through the rest of this clip that I'll be showing to you that the reason Gambler's Dodge is as important as it is as important as it is because dodging near an enemy will fully regenerate my melee ability, and as you saw with the Elemental Well mods, using my ability and killing adds with it will, in fact, give me my Elemental Wells, which should be Stasis, hence why we're using Revenant. And they will give me a fair percentage back of my melee ability, which I can use then to generate more wells, as well as with Grim Harvest on, any stasis kills has a high chance to generate the little stasis crystals that you can pick up to further enhance and give more ability energy back. So, Duskfields, again with Demolitionist, are pretty important to this because killing enemies with a little crystal that Touch of Winter gives with the Duskfield will generate more of the stasis crystals to proc with Grim Harvest. And again, keeping the uptime as high as possible so we can get more ad kills and resort to using less of our heavy and special ammo. I mean, besides using Demolitionist in this build. Trying to keep our heavy for ad clear as little as possible. I have subsistence on both my guns, again, which isn't really relevant to the build, but I thought it's important to mention because it keeps the ammo in my gun having to reload less, again, killing more enemies with less breaks in between. Things like, while we're on the Tangled Shore, things like the Fanatic has a lot of enemies at the end of his strike room. Keeping those enemies dead as quick as long as possible is pretty important to the integrity and making the strike as easy as possible. As you'll see there, I wasn't even really that close to that enemy, that little wraith there, and I still managed to get my ability energy back in my melee just by dodging next to them. Again, literally just using the Demolitionist on my fusion rifle, I'm getting my nade energy back every 2 to 3 kills, excuse the lag spike there. And generating Elemental Wells with the melee keeps my melee up pretty consistently. Now, you'll see here I killed the boss pretty quickly with my heavy. That's again the idea of this build is to save our heavy, make sure we are using our abilities to the best and most potential they can. We can use them to the best of their potential. And yeah, I mean it's simple enough, I'm sure. You'll pick it up very quickly. The build really, really works wonders. I was trying to get it a few strikes. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this build works out well for you. Thank you.